Hello, welcome to Oyes and Tarot channel. How are you doing today? I'm going to be doing a reading for Gemini to know what's up with them for the month of March 2026. So let's see, you have the Six of Wands showing up for you, the Seven of Swords showing up for you, Hierophant, Chariot, Three of Cups, and the Ace of Swords. Interesting. This is rapid movement, by the way. Forgive the light angle. I just moved houses, so I'm still adjusting to the angle of the lighting. But here we have it, folks. Gemini, you have the Six of Wands, Seven of Swords, the Hierophant, the Chariot, Three of Cups, as well as the Ace of Swords showing up for you. And this is basically denoting movement. With the Six of Wands, there's anticipation, there's strategy, I would say. Strategy showing up for you in terms of, you're planning things and you're strategically moving. You're not just doing things out of a whim. You're doing it because you have planned ahead. So I'm seeing the planning ahead. And for some of you, it might be that this is speaking to someone that is a creative director that is in charge of strategizing, creating new concepts, and basically championing a new idea in their company. So with the Six of Wands, you're strategically moving, you're planning ahead, you're moving ahead, as well as with the Ace of Swords. I'm saying something that has to do with wars, right? With the Ace of Swords and the Seven of Swords, this is something that has to do with deliberation. And so you're being very deliberate about what you do, how you do what you do, and basically ensuring that your movement with the Chariot energy and the Six of Wands energy is very aligned to your goals, right? You're not just doing things haphazardly or with guesswork. And since we're already halfway through March, this is you haven't placed things in order and ensuring that everything pans out the way you want it to be. And in some regard, this is basically, in some ways, since we're towards the end of the first quarter of 2026, this could also be putting your house in order, putting your accounts in order. This is also, for some of you, Gemini, it's also showing that you are basically checking and balancing your books. You are seeing profit where you did not even know profit was, and you are growing. There's a word that's coming to my mind that has to do with largesse, right? And largesse, and with the largesse of your way of life, you are expanding exponentially, right? You're very deliberate with your thoughts, you're very deliberate with your speech, and you can see that there's a marriage between the Hierophant and the Chariot here, because as much as you're moving forward, you're also very deliberate about how you're moving. So I'm going to ask, what is Gemini being deliberate about? What is the energy that the Gemini is being deliberate about? The Page of Wands popped out for you, Gemini. Inspiration. I did say that some of you are creative directors, or some of you are looking to develop something. It could also signify that you are creating a new thing, a new way of doing things. So maybe that's where the strategy is coming from. So what you're being deliberate about is your thought process in terms of the new thing that you want to venture into, right? So in some ways, Gemini, what I'm seeing here with the Page of Wands and Three of Cups energy collaborating, there is, of course, celebration, but this is a thought out. So some of you had New Year's resolution and did not have the time or the zeal to get started until now, right? So now that you have begun your resolutions, you have done your, for some of you, spring cleaning, and now you have cleared the cobwebs out of the way, and you're able to see clearly. This is why the Ace of Wands and the Page of Wands is showing up for you. You're prepared to move forward, but you're moving forward with concise meaning, with deliberate steps. Everything about you is compartmentalized. You're not just doing things for the sake of. You're not doing things because you want to show off. You're doing it because you need to expand, because you desire to expand, because you are elevating and you're moving forward in the way that you would normally do things. This is not the way that people know you to be, right? So yes, you are breezy, but interestingly enough, you are basically in some sense quite different from the old you. So you're reinventing yourself. Why is Gemini reinventing themselves? What is the strategy that they're putting in place? The Judgment card. Ooh. You're ready to give what you've got. This has to do with a lot of speech. You have quite significant speech, something that has to do with talking, creating words with your mouth, with your voice, speaking out. So it could be that you have to speak out, or this is why you are speaking out. This is why you're strategizing, because maybe you've gotten so tired of keeping quiet for so long, and now you are ready to take the bull by the horn and speak your truth. Basically, with the Ace of Swords, that is corroborating what the Judgment card is showing you. You are awakening into a new aspect of yourself. This is a vital point in your life at this moment. And I think it speaks to the resolution, the New Year's resolution, for some of you that have the New Year's resolution that did not get started on it until now. So with the Judgment card, there is something that is there's a marriage between your actions and your intentions, right, Gemini? So you are very deliberate with your actions and your intentions so that there won't be a misstep for you, Gemini. And this is why, as much as you are moving swiftly with the Chariot card showing up for you, and strategically with the Seven of Swords and the Six of Wands showing up for you, you are doing that because you feel the need to finally speak your truth and live your life without expectations, the burden of someone else's expectations. And that is why you can see that, yes, the Hierophant energy representing something that has to do with the old way of doing things is there, but you can see with the Page of Wands, there's a new approach to the old way of doing things for you, Gemini, which is why you're stepping into your boss era. So for some of you, maybe you have been scared to take charge. Maybe you have been you've been taking the backseat for so long, and now you are being called to take on the driver's seat. Do not be scared to drive, to hold on to the wheel and drive, because you can handle it. You can do it. You have all the ace. You have the aces working for you. You have the Ace of Swords working for you here. Maybe it could even represent doing the same thing in a different way. For instance, I used to shoot my videos from a different angle, right? And I used to shoot my videos in a different house. But now that I have moved houses, and now that I am in a different setup and still setting up my office space in my home, this is basically in some ways a kind of pointer to you where you're doing the same thing but in a different way. So you might have to look at things from a different angle to better see the light at the end of the tunnel, right? So, and it could also be that this is why you're being inspired, this is why you're being called to do something different. So new ideas abound, new strategies are in place, and this is also a rounding up of what has been to make way for what is to come in order to do what will be done. That's quite poetic. Okay, let's see what the oracle cards have to say about your about you, Gemini, for March 2026. What should Gemini know about the rest of March 2026? Broken healer. Okay, what else? What else is a message that the oracle wants to tell? That's a lot of cards. Thread of fate popped out. And should I take this other cards? Let me shuffle again. Let's shuffle again. Let's shuffle again. What does the oracle want Gemini to know about the rest of March 2026? The return home. That is quite an interesting set of cards showing up for you, Gemini. So you have the thread of faith. The broken healer popped out first. Okay, let me arrange it the way it came out. The broken healer, the thread of faith, and the return home. Now with the broken healer, you have here what past wounds have given you wisdom. How can you use them to help yourself or others? And then you have the thread of faith saying, what parts of your journey feel guarded by something bigger than yourself? How can you trust the process? And then you have the return home. What wisdom have you gathered? How will you integrate it into your daily life? This is quite an interesting set of cards because they correspond with the Hierophants, where old wisdom, right? And the cards are asking you to deliberate and to ponder on how you can use the wisdom that you have, the old ways of doing things, the hidden knowledge and insight that is true to yourself, to be able to move into a better space and follow the paths that the thread of fate has set up for you, basically. And this wisdom is from you. This is from yourself. This is a building of yourself. This is taking inspiration from your experiences, taking inspiration from your personal encounters with life, with people in your environment, and gather all of this together. Go on this journey of self-discovery for some of you, Gemini, and others of you to go on this journey of re-strategizing, to be a boon to people around you in order to be able to integrate this thing into your daily life. And it could also be that for some of you, this creative venture that you have begun is to help others to have an easy way of living, right? So some of you might be called to maybe create a new project, venture, and I'm seeing something here that has to do with creative technology, right? To help people. Maybe it could be something that has to do with helping people with disabilities, to help them with their mobility, right? To help them with their movement. So that might be what some of you Gemini have been called to do, and this could be why you are looking at thoughts that your old way of doing things. So it might also be speaking to what the world says should be done and the best way to do it. So in some instance, it might be that the usual way of opening a can of jam, for instance, could be just to twist the top, right? But for people with disabilities, it would be difficult to do that. Or maybe people that suffer from arthritis, for instance, it'd be difficult for them to do that. And maybe you've had an idea to create a project or to create something, a product that will help ease the lifestyles of such people and just help them. So maybe it might have been difficult for you to conceptualize the idea at the time, but the time is now. The time is now for you to build. And in some ways, I'm seeing here the broken healer has to do with being a remedy to other people. So it might be time to tap from your experience. For some of you, it might actually be a personal experience. Maybe I'm hearing here that some of you, Gemini, have experienced some difficulty in mobility and have just been able to get yourself back into being more mobile in movement, and maybe have healed physical. So you've healed from maybe a type of physical challenge that you had recently or just previously, and that experience in your healing process has inspired you to create something to help ease the burdens of other people. And for the rest of March 2026, this is something that, if you've not already started, this is something that might be telling you that the idea that is deep within your spirit, deep within your soul, is a good one, and you should, of course, go for it, because people are waiting on you. The thread of faith, something bigger than yourself, is there to ensure that you're able to do what you're called to do on earth and help people. So is there any other message that Gemini should know? Maybe what to do, what to avoid, what else does Gemini need to know about March 2026? The fire trial. I did tell you that some of you might have experienced some challenges recently and you're coming out of it. So this is basically telling you that this trial that you've experienced or are currently in the midst of, that has recently tested your resilience and he's making you emerge stronger, or he's asking you, how have you emerged stronger? This fire trial was a necessary one to ensure that you're able to build your strength, your inner strength. Let's see what the fire trial is about. What is this fire trial about? 3 cards. 4 of Cups, 2 of Swords, and 3 of Swords. Okay, let me lay this out in a way that you can see it properly. Okay. All right. And then we ask what the fire trial is about, and then we have the 2 of Swords popping out, the 4 of Cups popping out, and the 3 of Swords popping out. The fire trial is that you are moving, I see with the 3 of Swords, you are moving away from what caused you despair, right? Because with the 4 of Cups, you in some ways had to, you were withdrawn. You withdrew from the world, and in some ways with the 2 of Swords showing up for you at the same time, it's on you to make a decision to get out of the melancholy that your experience has made you feel. Get out of the despair. I think this is a message for some of you that have yet to heal properly. Move on from the issues of the past that challenged you physically and made you feel emotionally weak and tired. I think it's telling all those of you that have yet to get into that era of full healing, that moment of having remedied the situation that you were in. It's telling others of you, Gemini, to make the choice to get out, lift yourself up. You remember Rihanna's song, Lift Me Up? Yeah. So this might be you needing to lift yourself, because your resilience is being tested. And from what I see here, some of you are waiting to be saved, but this is a time to save yourself. because there are other people waiting on you to save them. So you need to get out of the melancholy of the situation, get out of the despair of the situation, get out of the trap of despair, make a choice to be better in order to move into what the world has prepared for you. So I'm looking, should I ask the oracle deck or the tarot deck on what you should anticipate? I think let's ask the oracle deck. So what should Gemini anticipate for the rest of March 2026? New dawn. Oh, don't we just love a good message? So it's telling you to anticipate a new dawn. What fresh start is beginning? How can you embrace it with openness? Go ye forth, Gemini. Get off from the emotional stagnation. Choose yourself. Choose healing. Take it one day at a time if you have to. You don't have to rush the process. Take it one day at a time. And the new dawn is here for you because the fresh start is beginning and the sun is rising. So that has been your reading for March 2026, Gemini. Thank you for watching my channel or your channel, Tarot channel, and I'll see you in the next video.